What if I told you Ford just slipped a game-changing off-road tech into the 2026 Everest, but didn't breathe a word about it in the press release? There's a reason competitors are suddenly watching Ford's every move, and it all comes down to one daring decision buried beneath the surface. Stick around. This one's going to shake up how you see modern SUVs. Welcome back to the channel where the road meets reason, and behind every badge, there's a story. Today, we're diving deep into the 2026 Ford Everest, a rugged, redesigned beast that Ford claims is their most advanced yet. But is that the whole story? Or is there something Ford doesn't want you to notice? On the surface, the 2026 Everest is a stunner. Bold new C-shaped LED headlights. A commanding, squared-off grille that echoes the F-150's muscular DNA. Subtle aerodynamic tweaks and wider wheel arches hint at capability, but also conceal just how much this SUV has evolved beneath the sheet metal. At first glance, it's a mid-cycle refresh. But open the hood, figuratively and literally, and you'll see Ford has re-engineered nearly everything that matters. First, the powertrain. While Ford kept quiet about a major overhaul, the new twin-turbo 3.0L V6 diesel isn't just a carryover. It's been quietly tuned to push out a whopping 257 horsepower and 600 Newton-meters of torque, paired with a recalibrated 10-speed automatic that delivers far smoother power bands in both low-range rock crawling and highway overtaking. It's not just numbers, it feels alive when you're behind the wheel. But here's what really caught our attention: the newly integrated Trail Command system. Not even mentioned in Ford's media kit, this suite blends terrain management, smart suspension damping, and GPS-based torque modulation. Imagine a system that not only adapts to the terrain, but predicts what's ahead and optimizes drivetrain response accordingly. It's like Ford quietly gave the Everest a sixth sense, and it works. We tested it on loose gravel descents, muddy ruts, and sand dunes. Each time, the Everest felt eerily intuitive. Inside, Ford has leaned into luxury without abandoning function. Soft-touch materials now extend across the dash, while contrast stitching, ambient lighting, and a 12-inch vertical touchscreen elevate the cabin into premium territory. It's not just about looking good, it's about durability too. Every surface has been tested against dust, water, and UV exposure. Ford's obsession with the overlanding crowd is clear. And the third row? Now it's actually usable. Redesigned to accommodate adult passengers with a flatter floor and smarter entry-exit geometry. Combine that with increased boot space, thanks to a subtle redesign of the rear suspension layout, and you're looking at one of the most practical three-row SUVs in its class. But let's talk price. Here's the kicker: despite these upgrades, Ford has kept the Everest's base price remarkably close to last year's model. How? By quietly removing several dealer-installed options and instead building them into higher trims, Ford is subtly steering buyers toward the more profitable Sport and Platinum variants. It's a clever move, and one that might frustrate budget-conscious fans who expect more from the entry-level trend. Yet for all its upgrades, the Everest isn't perfect. The infotainment UI, while snappy, still suffers from Ford's occasionally clunky menu layering. And though cabin noise is significantly reduced, tire roar from the factory all-terrain still seeps in above 110 km per hour. It's not a deal-breaker, but in this segment, refinement matters. Still, the 2026 Everest is not just an SUV, it's a mission statement. It proves Ford's commitment to making the Everest more than a Ranger with a roof. It's now smarter, tougher, and more versatile, designed not just for towing and terrain, but for families who want adventure with sophistication. So, what isn't Ford telling you? That they've future-proofed the Everest for hybridization. Deep in the chassis, we found reinforced mounts and wiring looms that suggest a plug-in or mild hybrid variant is coming. It's not speculation, it's preparation. Ford's betting on a new frontier, and the Everest is their Trojan horse. If you've made it this far, you're clearly as passionate about vehicles as we are. So here's your part. Hit that like button if this deep dive gave you something the brochures didn't. Drop a comment if you think the Everest can outpace rivals like the Toyota Prado or Land Rover Defender. And if you want more no-nonsense reviews that get to the truth behind the trims, subscribe and join the ride. Because here, we don't just test cars, we uncover what the road won't tell you.